Huge thank you to Anchor.fm for sponsoring today's episode. Today's guest on the podcast is a very special person. I have been friends with him for many years, and he is known online as B-Brain Einstein. He has his own YouTube channel where he's done a survival series and glitching games through scrap mechanic. Please welcome to the podcast, B-Brain Einstein.
Hey, how's it going?
So, B-Brain, how have you been?
I've been pretty good. Yourself?
I've been doing pretty well. So, the main thing that I wanted to talk about was new movies coming out. Are you excited for any of them?
Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to the second installment of the Venom series.
Okay. I saw that in 2019 in theaters, and it was really good. It was one of the first movies that I had seen, and I was like, wow. You know what? I think Marvel has redeemed itself in my eyes, because they took the idea of... I talked about this in the first one. They took the idea of Spider-Man, completely got rid of it, and made Venom its own thing, which I like a lot more.
Yeah, I watched it under pretty similar circumstances, except I liked it so much I got it as a DVD.
Yeah, I think it was like the week after it came out, I bought it on DVD because I enjoyed it so much in the theaters. I heard that they're coming out with another Fast and Furious. I really think that series should just die. It's on Fast and Furious 9 now, and I thought the Fate of the Furious was the last one.
I will admit 9 movies for one thing is a bit much, but I was never really into the series, so I don't really have much right to state my opinion on it.
I know a lot of people really enjoyed that, along with... I think one thing that definitely made a lot of people leave that series was when Paul Walker died, because a lot of people got hit hard by that, and a lot of people are just like, nope, they should have just ended the series after he died, because it's not the same. He's been there since literally the beginning. And I think if I was to choose like another movie, I think I would probably go with it's not coming out this year, but it's coming out a little bit later next year, and that's Doctor Strange Through the Multiverse. I think I'm really gonna enjoy that movie, even though I didn't really care for Doctor Strange at first.
Well, all things considering, again, another series. I've never been the biggest Marvel fan, personally, besides obviously the Spider-Man series, but I actually will say Doctor Strange did always strike me as a more intriguing character, so I may watch it.
The other day, I think we were talking, and you were talking about being excited for Zootopia 2.
Yes, that's right. Zootopia was one of my favorite, more Disney movies from a while back. And I would definitely be interested in a second installment of Zootopia 2, or as they're calling it, Zootopia Plus.
They're calling it Zootopia Plus. I feel like that is a play on words from Disney Plus.
Well, yeah, it is going to be aired on Disney Plus, so that would make sense.
Yeah, I feel like instead of being... Well, is it going to be like an actual movie, or is it going to be like a series?
I don't know.
I heard coming out... I think it's this year. During October is Halloween Kills. I think they should have stopped with that series. I saw the last one with Jamie Lee Curtis in it, and I really enjoyed that one, but it was like, okay, they've done so many of these now that it's like they really need to stop. As soon as they did Jigsaw for the Saw series, I was like, good. That's a good place to stop, because you shouldn't continue that at all.
Well, personally, I've never been a big fan of horror or most gore-based movies, so I will once again stay out of this one.
I heard coming out, I think June 9th is Black Widow, and I'm excited for that because it looks really good. I take it that's not a movie that you're looking forward to?
Yeah. I've never been the biggest movie person.
You prefer
either,
TV shows, right?
Yes, yeah. Like, for instance, maybe if they were going to do another season of Better Call Saul, I'd be more interested in that.
Okay. Do you think they're gonna end on season 8 of The Flash, or do you think they're gonna keep going?
Honestly, I think it's another thing like with Fast and Furious. I think season 8 was a pretty good closer, or will be a pretty good closer, but
yeah.
I'm also more looking forward to the next semi-confirmed series of The Legends of Tomorrow.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I really think, anyway, that the CW has a hold on, like, DC shows. They do such a good job with them compared to the movies that they're just absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Those guys know their TV shows.
Yeah. Speaking of which, they're going to be rebooting the Powerpuff Girls as an actual CW network TV show.
I also heard they were doing the same for the Magic School Bus.
Yep.
It's quite interesting. I thought those shows were fine as they were. But I guess if they think they need to bring them up again, they can do that, I guess.
They have CW's rebooting that. They also, just last year, I think it was, 2019, they introduced Batwoman, Nancy Drew. They finished off season 5 of Riverdale, and that was really good. Supernatural's always been one of my favorites, and they just really know what they're doing over there. If they come out with like anything else that's like superhero based, I'll probably watch it, considering the fact that the Arrowverse has been such a good show. Such good shows, I should say, because it's multiple different versions. I actually heard... Oh, wait. Yeah, you can go.
I was just gonna say, I guess. I mean, as I said, they do a very good job over there. They definitely know what they're doing, so...
Yeah. I heard that... And I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know why they feel like they need to do this. Going back to the whole movie thing, I heard that Ghostbusters Afterlife is coming out. It's supposed to be based on the grandchild of one of the original 4 members. I can't remember who it is. It's, the kid being played in the movie is the same person who plays Stanley, I think, in Stranger Things. Quote me if I'm wrong on that, audience, but, I believe that's correct anyway. But that'll be interesting to see.
Well, personally, if you want my opinion on it, which is the whole point of my being here, I think they could have stopped at the first Ghostbuster movie they ever made. Like, I mean, Ghostbusters 2 was okay, but the way they redid it recently, it never sat well with me. The actors weren't really good at any of their roles, and all things considering, they just Yeah.
Well, I mean, the most recent one came out in 2016, and that was Ghostbusters Answer the Call with the full female cast.
Yeah, they sucked.
Well, I can't really say don't share your opinion, but I mean...
Okay, I should probably say it nicer so you can edit it properly. Would you prefer that?
No, I don't care how you say it. I'm just saying, say it at least with some, like, supporting evidence. Not, like, just come out and say they sucked.
Well, I can't really give much supporting evidence. I mean, I guess I could, all things considering. I guess they didn't do the best at makeup, per se.
Okay, but that's...
It felt like the actors didn't know their lines very well.
Alright, that's, I guess, an argument. Because the makeup thing, I feel like, is not really on them. That's more on the makeup team than it is on the actresses.
As well as for me, it was just... the original cast, they really did it in for me. It wasn't the fact that they were male and female, yada yada yada. It's just that I think with the first two movies...
Glad you clarified that.
Yes. But it was just the first two movies, the very classic people. Those guys were very big for their time, and I mean, yeah, they did a great job. And I'm not saying an all-female class or all-female team wouldn't have worked. It's just those guys for their time were the best of the best. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Oh yeah, I would definitely say that the original Ghostbusters movie had some very iconic people playing the roles, and it really made them, like, shoot up in the movie industry world, because after they did that, so many people recognized them after that.
Also, I think they did a better job with the monsters on the first movie.
Oh yeah,
the first two movies. Definitely much more iconic faces.
Speaking of which, a little bit of a subtopic here. What's your favorite Ghostbusters monster? I probably would have to Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Absolutely, can't go past the classic.
I actually have, in my recording setup, I have a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man plush just sitting on a shelf behind me. You guys can't see this, see it because it's auditorial, but just thought I'd let you guys know that. And probably second would have to be Slimer. I just love how goofy and crazy he is.
He was a rather cute character.
I saw a little clip of them reintroducing Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and the way they're doing it is like him and a bag of marshmallows just coming out. It's like, that's cool and all, but it's not really the original sort of idea of him. So, I think that about covers our favorite movies, and we're going to break for a quick little sponsored segment, and we will be right back. If you have never created or have already created a podcast, Anchor.fm is one of the easiest ways if you're just starting or already a master at creating podcasts to distribute your podcast onto Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other streaming platforms. Anchor.fm allows you to drop in clips, add your own transitions, and there you go. You just created your brand new podcast. Head to Anchor.fm now to get started. And huge thank you to Anchor.fm for sponsoring today's episode. This is just a real quick category in the podcast to let you know that I have multiple channels. I have one named Revere Studios, where I do a lot of videos with my younger brother, known as FireZone256, and I also have a channel called 6 Blocks Under, which is every single time we die, then a counter is added, and by the end, depending on who's subscribed anyway, that basically makes it so it's like the person who Like, for instance, let's say we get 30 subs or something. That's a reward for the people who are subscribed, because every time the counter goes up, there's a chance of a giveaway happening. So that's one of my channels. And then I also have my vlog channel where I've gotten to the point where I'm going to upload a video every Wednesday. I don't know what time yet, but I'm going to be uploading a video then, and it's just going to be like a in-depth look on behind the scenes of how videos are made and what the steps are. And keep an eye out, because there may be bloopers for it, because of the fact that I mess up a lot. We all think that YouTubers are perfect. We're not. Just putting that out there. Some of us have more flaws than others. And it's one of those things where as soon as you realize that and just embrace it, it's a lot easier to make videos, because then you're just basically being like, oh, I did something wrong. I can fix it. It's not that big of a deal. But the biggest thing is the fact that I have a merch store, which is going to be having soon League RX merch. So if you want to get your hands on that, I will drop down in the description of my next upcoming video the link to that. Most people who watch my channel know that the YouTube channel is Zivonics, but for people listening on Anchor.fm, go to youtube.com and just type in Zivonics and it will pop up. And with that, thank you all for listening to this short little brief thing in between the sponsorship and the actual segment. Also, going forward, it's just me talking in the next couple of segments, because I wasn't able to recover some of the other files for when I had the conversation with B-Brain. So stay tuned for more episodes. And now back to this episode of the podcast. That made absolutely no sense. But anyway, back to the segment that's in hand. So this was actually supposed to go up quite a while ago. The first one was May 23rd, and this was supposed to go up the Saturday after that. I just never really got around to putting it up. But one thing I wanted to get out of the way real quick was the fact that I now have an official site for everything related to Zivonics, Revere Studios, SS Silentex, which is my older brother's YouTube channel, and League RX. So if you ever want to actually go listen to a podcast without doing Anchor.fm or Spotify or any other place, then you can listen to it for free on that website. I just wanted to put that out there. And unfortunately, this is the last segment of this podcast, but I will be back next Saturday with episode 3 of the League RX podcast series, hosted by me, Trevor Lorem. So this last segment is about, because I do a bunch of random segments on this podcast, but this last one I wanted to touch on is about the season finale of Rick and Morty that they did. It was definitely interesting, because when I watched it, I was like, wait, are we looking into the point of view of evil Morty when he became his timeline of when he became evil? And then they did this thing where they basically dropped some major canon and made it that's actually a different Morty, and Rick is basically instead of being with the regular Morty, he actually, or his original Morty per se, basically the Rick and Morty that we know are then they basically go to the Citadel of Ricks, and then we learn that Evil Morty is actually in that timeline. Originally, I thought that Evil Morty was the one in that timeline where that was his origin story. But no, it turns out that was not true. And that was such a crazy thing, because from the very beginning of the series, I was like, yes, this is definitely Evil Morty's origin story, because it's weird for Morty to get so mad at Rick and be like so irritated with him. But it turned out that was the Morty that we had knew all along. He just developed his character more. And it was such an interesting finale. I'm not going to spoil it, but I will say by next week's episode, I will say more on the subject. Those of you who haven't seen it yet, please go see it, because I don't want to be the person that spoils it for every other person who wants to go see it. But I will say now that the turn of events in the ending is so funny. And for those who have seen it, we don't know where Evil Morty is gone. Or we call him Evil Morty, but maybe he just has a different idea of justice than other versions of the Mortys. But it is definitely interesting, because Morty was given a chance to go with Evil Morty, but instead of taking that, he was like, no, I'm going to stay here with Rick. And it was definitely an interesting... I mean, overall, Evil Morty is a major... I know this is sponsored. He's not nice in any way. I have to be very careful what I say, because I have a sponsored segment in this for Anchor.fm, and I know if I don't be careful about what I say, that sponsorship will not earn me anything. So I will definitely say it's interesting watching how this is added up, and to see what's gonna happen with Season 6. Season 6, I bet, is gonna have loads more canon references in it, and I'm excited to see what happens. I feel like I might do a reaction to it, possibly. I don't know, because I've already seen the season finale like a bunch, so I might just skip over that. But if you are curious about what my take on the season finale is, watch next week's episode of the League RX. Episode 3 will be about cartoons and other shows that I watch, mostly Rick and Morty. I will also dive into talking about older shows that I've watched, like Robot Chicken, what I probably wasn't supposed to, South Park, and those sort of things. The shows that I kind of grew up on, and that's what kind of made me who I am. I will dive more into that in the next episode. And the other thing I'm also going to be covering in the next episode is stuff to do with, for instance, I guess technically stuff to do with, like, for instance, merchandise for this podcast. I might start doing merchandise for it. And for any of you who have not seen my 2 most recent videos on Zybonics, it would mean a lot to me if you guys would go watch those. That would be awesome. because that kind of helps my channel, and it also helps me to figure out what I'm going to be talking about on the podcast. So that would really help me out. And for those who are new to like any of the stuff that I do, just go on to darkmoonrider34.wix.com/Arken Entertainment. Arken Entertainment. And you will be able to watch my older brother's videos, my videos, League RX stuff, Arken Rival. It has basically everything you need to know about the Arken Entertainment business, and it has so much to offer. I will tell you that right now. There's so much content among all the channels, and the best part is Arken Raiders is literally my Discord server where you can join me and be, who knows, maybe join in on a podcast one day. We'll see, but you only can do that if you join Arken Raiders. So that would be awesome if you guys would go ahead and go join that. And one other thing I want to bring up, I'm gonna be doing a little bit different sort of style of podcast going forward. I kind of started with like origin stuff, like how I got started on YouTube and that sort of thing. But as I go forward, I'm probably gonna start doing like favorite topics and that sort of thing, questions from viewers and all sorts of different things. So stay tuned for those. And with that is episode 2 all wrapped up. Thank you all for listening today. And if this happens to be the first episode that you've heard, go back and listen to episode 1. There's some pretty good stuff in there. And till next time, I will see you guys next Saturday at 2 p.m. for episode 3 of the League RX podcast, hosted by me, Trevor Lorem. Have a great day.